Welcome along to a very special episode of the Left Wing Back podcast. We are down here in Ballykeenan in the south of the county in the home of Mr. Jack Kavanagh here beside me. Jack, thanks a million for having me down. Beautiful home, and we have a bit to get through in this story. How's the form with Johnny?
All good, Kev. Yeah, thanks for calling down. Appreciate you calling down from Collection. Yeah, all good. Yeah, and kind of enjoying my new spare time, and yeah, the form is good.
Well, I suppose for anyone who may be wondering why we're here, I'd say most people know at this stage, but you've decided to step away from inter-county hurling.
Yeah.
Not an easy decision. How did it come about, and what way are we feeling about it?
I was humming on about it over maybe the last 12 months, and I was going and I wasn't going, and I was to and from a decision for a long time, and eventually then I just kind of decided that it was time to step away. I'm not really sure how I feel about it at the moment. It's kind of still a little bit raw.
Yeah.
I'm kind of going back and forth with the decision. Obviously I made the decision, but I'm wondering have I done the right thing, and I've talked to Ahern about it a lot. I've talked to Mouse here about it as well, and look, I made a decision. I suppose it will get easier in time, but I miss it fierce, I'm not going to lie. It is something I think about every day. But just suppose it's a change from the last 18 years. It's all I've known really since I came into adult hurling. I was playing for Carlow, and it's a big void in my life now, and I miss it, but I'm sure it'll get easier with time.
Yeah, it's such a huge change in someone's life, and I know a lot of the time we would talk about things off the pitch, which by and large are more important than always tend to be, but for you this is such a big change. This has tied into your personal life as well. It's become routine is a big thing, as we know, right? And the only routine that you've known for, as you say, what is it? Was it 07 you went to the panel? 08?
Yeah, 07, yeah.
07, so straight out minor. So you're talking the guts of, it's nearly 20 year service you've given, and all the running and racing before that as a minor. It doesn't just start as senior, it just increases. Sure, why wouldn't it be a big change? Of course it is. And with that, I suppose comes an array of emotions. You don't know what way you're feeling. You don't know where you're coming or going. And I get the impression you're kind of still along those lines.
Absolutely, Kevin. There's days go by, I'm delighted, I get to spend time with Ahern now, with weekends, and we plan things and we go places, which when you're involved with Carlow, or when the hurling season starts, you can make these plans because you're training, 4 or 5 nights during the week, and weekends are gone nearly every weekend. So enjoying that, but then there's weeks, there's days and Tuesday nights and Friday nights come out, and they said lads were heading up to Tullamore last Sunday, and we were on our way to Tipperary last Saturday, and I was saying the boys now will be heading out, so there's days I miss it more than others, but it's a big change, it's a big adjustment, and like I say, I'm sure time is the best healer, and it'll become a norm. I'd say maybe not too soon, but in time it will become. I'll come to accept the decision I've made.
Yeah, for anyone out there, we're not going to go into exact specifics now, but there was a pretty good reason why you weren't in Tullamore the other day. But I don't know how much or little you want to divulge, but you have a lot of change going on in your own life as well, and that has to come into consideration, I suppose, when a decision like this has to be made too, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. Yeah, no, look, I don't mind saying, we're in the early stage of planning to build a house here in St. Mullins, and we are also got engaged over Christmas, so we're planning a wedding in 2026. So we have a lot going on there, in the personal life. So that was factored into my decision as well. Obviously I didn't want ever running solo and having to do all this herself. So I kind of wanted to be there, kind of to help her, and these are life-changing decisions that we're making. So it takes two of us. So I wasn't sure whether I'd be able to give everything to that and give everything to Carlow Hurling. So I just decided, it was probably time to give her my time now rather than, and we're working on both projects together, and it is keeping me very occupied. I won't lie, very occupied. There's a lot to be done. So I'm happy. I'm happy enough now with the way life is going with Ahern.
There are significant life events, and I should say congratulations. When we're on the topic, I know we had a chat off here, but I think it would be remiss not to mention it kind of on air here too, right? You. But you have to weigh it all up, and when it comes to decision time, as you say, you have to be fair to all parties, and there's so much sacrifice the partners make too, isn't there, with all these things. So I guess in one sense, you'd probably be killed if you went back.
No, she actually.
Not against Ahern now,
no,
tongue in cheek, you know what I mean? Yeah.
In fairness, however, she was encouraging me when, obviously speak to her about how I'm feeling about the decision, and like she actually encouraged me. She was encouraging me, if you're feeling like this, go back. She was the one telling me to go back. But I just felt, like she was just obviously being supportive of me and my feelings, and but no, like I do think it is. I need to be there for her in both these things, So I just think that the decision was to retire from the county and put all my time and effort into these 2 projects we have coming up.
I'm going to move on from this particular topic now, I promise. But like, I get the sense, and like people that know you would know this already, but a lot of people probably wouldn't. Like, you're an emotional enough character. Like you think you're a deep thinker, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, I would be. I'd be.
And for all the like outward, I suppose, like, you never strike me as someone who lacks in confidence. Never have. You'll have your doubts too, I'd say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
You're only human.
Yeah, exactly. Like I might, for anyone who sees me just for 60 minutes on a hurling field or 70 minutes if it was inter-county, but they mightn't see that. But no, like I would be a kind of a very soft kind of emotional person, and I do have that side of me as well, which I suppose I don't really show.
There's no reason to show it to everyone either.
Yeah, exactly. But no, like absolutely, like you say, I'm only human, and I do have a soft exterior as much as I might seem to have a hard exterior.
Yeah, because like out in the field, it's warrior, show no weakness. I don't think it's unfair to say cock of the walk as well. Like you carry yourself with great confidence. But yet there's this other character there. I wonder, do those 2 things kind of correlate and tie in together?
Yeah, absolutely. Without doubt, I do think that definitely you kind of need both. I think in everyday life and on a hurling field, you have to be able to kind of dive into both the things that you have inside you.
Tell you what the common thing is though, Jack, is honesty. Behind it all, like that's the one thing there, like whether it's outward or inward, like you can just tell by you straight away, the hurling out in the field and talking to us here on podcasts, like it's fairly clear that there's a huge degree of honesty there about everything. Like
I'm not going to bear around the bush, I'm fairly straight to the point, and like I kind of say things as I see them and say how it is, like. Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if there was more like it, wouldn't we be better off? But some lads don't like hearing it, that's the problem.
That's it, That's it. I don't like hearing it sometimes myself.
Yeah. Well, I'd say like whenever a kind of a conversation like that comes up, maybe there'll be a bit of thunder and lightning in response, but when things calm down and you're like, maybe you had a point. And I'd imagine most people that know you would think, look.
Oh yeah. 100%. Like in the heat of the moment, like I might react a certain way, and then I might be going home in the car. Could be a training session or a match, or I might be having a blow up with someone, and excuse me, I'd realise then like that I was wrong. Sorry.
And you'd be the first to put the hand up.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like there could be a text message sent before I get home. Like but like in fairness, like anyone that knows me knows that anything that happens in that field stays in the field. I don't take anything home.
Yeah, and that's the way. Some people do carry it. Unfortunately, like there's just lads that maybe you'd hear maybe in a night out and different things happening and stuff. Thankfully, I think that day has gone largely, but more so probably a prevalent thing years ago. Like, and speaking of years ago, I mean, I don't really need to ask where did the graph of hurling come from. I mean, your family's pretty much ingrained in it. You spoke on our last podcast about Uncle Declan in particular, and the number 8 jersey, and I'd imagine a 4 or 5, 6, 7-year-old Jack Kavanagh is very much intertwined with that kind of thought process and where that kind of got sewed into your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Like but like it would have been first and foremost would have came from home here, like with Mum and Dad.
Yeah.
Like Dad being like Kavanagh and Mum being a Murphy from Ballymurphy.
Yeah.
So like there's both half families are steeped in hurling tradition. Like going to underage games, like Dad would have cleared out the back of the van. He did fit kitchens. He would clear the back of the van, and like if there wasn't enough cars to go, he'd throw illegally probably 10 or 12 was in the back of the van. Like we'd pull up the matches and we'd be getting awful looks. And even then going to senior games, we used to bring say neighbours and like friends of ours, and we'd take the furniture or chairs, put them into the back of the van, and he'd bring us. So we were always brought to the games. And then like obviously we started going to the pitch then and under 8s and under 10s, and just hurling was everything, and my dad was steeped in it. And then obviously I always was watching my uncle Declan hurling, like he would have been a role model of mine, and like, you know, I've always looked up to Declan, and to this day I still do, like, you know, it was always I wanted to wear that number 8 jersey, like I told you before, and that was an ambition of mine, and I got to wear it for many years for club and county.
So your mother and Dennis Murphy's father, brother and sister, is that the connection there?
And Richard Cody's mother. Be another
right,
one.
yes, I have it now, because I know there's an awful lot of cousins and aunts and uncles and all that are playing together.
Edmund Bruin's mother would be another sister of Mam's.
Yeah.
There's 15 altogether in Mam's family, and there's 11 in my father's.
And the link with Limerick then, is that on?
That's my mother as well. So Mama would have been, Mam's brother Shem would have went to Limerick many moons ago, and so Shem's son Johnny's the inter-county referee.
Yeah.
And then like Johnny would have kicked senior football for Limerick, and then you know, we'd have more cousins down there.
Unreal. Sure, there's a team and an extended panel in the whole lot.
Sure, there's a picture here of all first cousins.
You went down and played them or something,
we went down and played a charity match when Shem, Lord Mercer, passed away. So we went down and played a charity match, and we all our first cousins, and on the Murphy side we all played Ballylanders in a match, and we all wore the Carlow jerseys there. Yeah.
Unreal. That's special.
It is. Yeah, no, it is.
You don't hear much of that, like.
No, and like me, Mouse and Chris are Donetree from St. Mullins, and the rest of them then are either Mount Leinster Rangers or 1 or 2 Motion.
Probably predominantly Rangers.
Yeah,
and then so there's a sprinkle of St. Mullins being E and a sprinkle of Sprund, I suppose.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's smart. Like, how have you never fallen out when all that has happened down through the years? Because like the 2 biggest rivals of St. Mullins. Okay, I'm talking about recent history anyway. Like Michael and Rangers would be like, wouldn't like there was always a huge rivalry from the time you started to say at the club upwards. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but how the fuck do you never fall out? Like, so there's so many.
We do.
They're fiery.
Yeah. You know? No, like we do. Like we don't fall out off the field, but we do have serious words
on it. Like
on the field, we'd have serious words. Like we'd have fights. We'd pull strokes off one another, you know, but like that's just everyone being competitive. That's everyone wanting to win. Like that's just you giving everything for the jersey. And sometimes, you know, it does bite over, but like that's just in the heat of the moment, the heat of the battle. And like for me, like I never ever took anything off the field, like ever. Like, you know, I've done things I shouldn't have done. I just think it's done to me that shouldn't have been done. But like that's just the way it is. And like we just. Look, at the end of the day, life goes on. Like, we're family, we shake hands after the game, and if the cup comes back to St. Mullins, if it goes back to Mice, or if it goes back to Rangers, it is what it is. You get on with it, and you go back to next year, and you kill each other again, and hopefully the cup comes back to St. Mullins.
I suppose, given the fact we just talked about rivalries and stuff, like, who would you say was your biggest rival on the club front? Like, who did you clash with down through the years a good bit, and who would you still clash with? We'll go club first and we'll go county. Quick fire one in the middle of it.
With a team or a person?
Say an individual. Who would you have had this unbelievable rivalry and maybe, I'm not going to say a falling out because, like, okay, right, that could happen. We know that too. But I'm sure nobody really falls out the back with it as such, like, is sport. Yeah. Tough question to ask now, tough one to answer.
That's where it is. Like, I forgot it is. Like, it's hard to pick just one. a few know.
I asked you about Hickey before on the last podcast. And the only reason it was the similarities with personalities, and you're obviously related too. Like, but I feel like you're not going to say him.
No, I wouldn't have had that much. Well, I suppose small, but like, I would actually have. No one really stands out for me really, because like, no matter who we came across, there was always a little bit of, you know.
Nigel.
Yeah, and like that's the way I kind of played the game, you know. I tried to piss lads off, I suppose, in a certain way, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like sort of myself and Richie Cody, we were first cousins and best friends, but like we would always be kind of at each other in the hurling field, you know.
Yeah.
But no, like nothing over the top really, but I suppose like maybe like before him, maybe Derek Bourne, myself and Derek Bourne, Cluxton, like we would have marked each other too, like around that 2010 area, like himself and Hickey were midfield, myself and John Farmer Murphy were midfield for St. Mullins, like we would have went at it, hammer and tongs, like, but like I'd say maybe the two of them.
You wouldn't be too quite as lads now yourself and Cluxton.
No, but like, you know, a lovely fella too, like we went to school together, and No, we was gone fierce well. It was just once we stepped onto the field, we couldn't we be capable of doing anything.
Well, all these lads, you're probably talking from under 12 upwards with Cluxon. I don't know when Cluxon came down, but Richie definitely.
Yeah.
Like the whole way up along. So it's not just an adult level confrontation or conflict, or whatever you want to call it. But on the county scene, then, I mean, did you have any particular ding-dongs with any individual firstly, and maybe what team then? Don't say Antrim.
Maybe at this, early doors probably Leash and the Care Healy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We used to have a few battles already. Myself and Lee Chin, when we heard against Wexford a few times, and we used to kind of be going at it too.
Yeah.
I could have picked a smaller person. In fairness, Lee Chin's he's all there. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
And sure, the whole Antrim team, basically.
Isn't it amazing that like they're so far away, but yet that was such an intense rivalry?
Yeah.
I'm sure it still is. Like.
Yeah, it still is. Yeah.
You know, like how it's hard to explain. It's just probably because you met so often, is it? Like,
I think so. And anytime we met was kind of it wasn't a league final. It was a Joe McDonagh final, or it was a Christy Ring final. It was always kind of a big, always a big game or relegation final. It was always something that was a lot on the line, and then, like there was never any quarter given or taken, And
I don't want to blot your copybook now by going down a route that is, I suppose, perhaps a dangerous one still, but like there's an awful lot of talk about sledging, and not Antrim in this case, but the one with Down a couple of years ago. I feel that there is not exactly a complete degree of innocence on their part either.
Yeah.
But yet Carlow got tarnished at that time.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that probably wasn't something that you would have liked said against you, anyway, for a start. And I'd also imagine that what you said is probably reasonably true, that they give as good as they get.
Oh, 100%. Like, anytime we went up to Down and they dragged you up to the top of Ballycran, like, up an hour and a half past Newry, like, it was always a hostile place to go, and like to being on the, to being on top in the pitch, and like it was never an easy place to go, and like they gave as good, if not better than they got, like, and then, obviously accusations followed, and there wasn't any truth in any of them, but and look, that was kind of,
that's your man's prerogative, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was all cleared up. There was no suspensions. There was nothing obvious. That kind of just told you, there'd be enough cameras and things there. People videoing games. If there was anything there, it would have came to the forefront. But look, we just kind of forgot about it because we knew that there was nothing in it.
Yeah. Let's jump back, I suppose, to when you first get called into the county. So you were telling me off here straight out minor, was it, into county senior south, and league final and. No Christy Ring that year, but league final again Westmeath down in Limerick, was it?
Yeah.
Piss and rain. I don't know if you were involved or not at that particular time, but was that 08 actually? Sorry, that was 08. I'm jumping far ahead. Semi-final again Down, was it, in the Christy Ring?
Yeah, that's right.
You were up in Mullingar, perhaps.
I know.
That was I remember that being a particularly tough one, I think, to take. But I suppose when you first get the phone call, that's the question to ask you. Like, you must be expecting it. You've scored 2 goals in the county final the year before, and you've played the Leinster minor final and all that. It's probably not much of a surprise, Jack.
Well, I wasn't expecting that soon, to be honest with you, because I was only after coming onto that senior team that year for the semi-final stage, because I was playing intermediate. I won an intermediate in 2006 with St Mullins, and then when that finished, they brought me onto the senior panel, and I played a bit of the semi-final, and then I started the county final, and like I say, I got going the first half and going the second half, and I suppose it was probably shown to be kind of an up and coming young talent, and then the same year then we were with Tommy Buggy and the Carlow Miners, and we got to Leinster Final, and then I suppose it kind of all went from there, and then the following year then under Owen Garvey I went on to the senior panel, and I was really, like, at the very start I was really a fringe player, I was kind of just in there to find my feet, like I was surrounded by Big Des and Robbie Foley and Lester and
some characters.
Like all these like, household names, like, and like I was this young lad coming in, and like you had Brendan Lawlers and these lads there, Shane Kavanagh, Des Shaws, and like I was looking Mort Keaton and Ed Breeder there that time, like these lads were different animals, and it was different hurling back then,
Yeah.
And so I was coming in, I was young and scrawny, and these lads were big, beefy men, and
yeah.
so like I suppose for the first year year and a half, I was just kind of in there, kind of just training away, and trying to kind of mix with these lads and get involved with these lads, and it was a huge honour to get called in, and I would never want to say no, and I was lucky to kind of get the county story, I suppose, kind of rolling and the ball rolling and that's front.
Yeah, with some of those guys you named out now, would it be fair to ask, was it, maybe it's unfair to say this and ask this because you would have gone very well with all your teammates up to now. I say that was some crack back then.
It was lethal, yeah.
I was going to ask was it better crack, but it's unfair to ask it that way. It must have been very enjoyable.
It was. So we won a Christy Ring in 08, and we went to New York on a team holiday. And the Waterford Hurlers were bet against Kilkenny in the Ireland Final that year, and we ran into the Waterford boys in some pub out there, and the crack we had was unbelievable. I remember John Milan came into I was in the Jackson on the pubs, and John Milan came in, and he I just walked over to him, so he was young and bowed and drunk and whatever, and I just put my hand out and said, "Jack Kavanagh, Carlow, who are you?" Just to wind him up, but he just laughed at me, and we had a race session with the Waterford lads out there, but that Carlow lads, they were well able to drink, and I was a young lad in the team, and I mean, it was.
They were inter-county drinkers.
They were inter-county drinkers, yeah. And it took me a while to find my feet now when they drink in front of them lads, let me tell you.
I imagine one or two of them I've been in their company with a few points in them as well. But yeah, you must have saw monumental changes from that time up to now with, say, maybe the like of that and S&C and all the various things that a county hurler kind of has to do. But I suppose my question is, would you have enjoyed the last couple of years more than, say, the first couple, or does the additional load and what's expected of inter-county hurler, does that make it less enjoyable, or
no, I definitely would have enjoyed the last couple of years. When you're kind of like you're kind of a very important part of the panel.
Yeah.
You're kind of very integral to it, and you're in the kind of the heart and soul of the team. I would have enjoyed that probably more. And then as you get older, you kind of learn to kind of appreciate more, because that every year could be, you're kind of, the time is ticking, the clock is ticking, and you don't know how many more years you're going to have, and so you kind of, every time you take the field of the last 3 or 4 years, you're just loving being there and loving being able to still compete, and I loved every year I was in there with Carlow, and the last maybe 7 or 8 years were probably my favourite. I really loved from maybe 2017, 16, 17. We won that first Christy Ring of Honour, up to last year. I really enjoyed that period with kind of the one group of lads were kind of there all that time, and we had some great days and some great friendships and really good memories over the years.
Exceptional group of players, wasn't it?
Yeah, exceptional group of players. And there's a good. They're all of them are still there now, and they're a serious bunch of hurlers, and that team is there now. They can have a great opportunity this year as well to, put a stamp on the league, and I think they'll give Joe McDonagh a right good crack as well. They'll give him every chance to win that.
I was looking at your demeanour up in Corrigan Park last year, and I might have said this to you on WhatsApp, but I just felt that it's a pretty good chance this guy's finishing. I didn't go near you, I didn't want to be promoting you out like that, but as much of a decision it was, sure, you must have known in your heart and your gut this is most likely it.
Yeah, no, I did.
And if you think back to that now, actually, with all the doubts you have, is that not the biggest indicator that maybe that was it?
Yeah, no, because I had it in my head going up that day, and it wasn't about me, it wasn't going to my final game, it was about Carlow staying up and Lee McCarthy and surviving, but when the final whistle went that day, I knew in my heart and soul that was it, and I had a little shed a bit of a tear in the stand, and I just kind of sat there for moments to take it in, and it was a very emotional kind of a day for me, because my mind wasn't made up, but I had a fair idea.
Yeah.
But so it was, like you said, you probably you caught me demeanour after the game, and I was kind of a little bit down, and it's kind of the curtains coming down, and the goods of 20 years, so it was emotional, and I just kind of wanted to. I didn't want to make it about me, I wasn't going to say anything after the game or anything. I just wanted to kind of let the dust settle and have a little think about it and see then. And after I'd done that, and then when Tom rang me, then I just, we had a chat and decided it was time.
And did he feel it was time?
Tom accepted my decision. He didn't argue it. He didn't. There was nothing like that. He just was. We had a good chat on the phone, and he accepted that I just felt like I wasn't going to go back. He asked me what my plans were, so I was wanted, I suppose, to go back in. But once I told him then that I was going to step away, and he was just like, he just said, thanks very much for everything that you've done for me and for Carlow over the years, and I wish him the best of luck, and that was it then.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple, yeah.
Yeah, I'd imagine he'd still be happy enough to have a bit part player there. But look, we've been over, so I won't draw you back into it again. And you're not a bit part player either, though. That's the problem, you see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'll be like you do what you would feel would be right for a team, but it's quite hard to have to accept that you might only be, I don't want to say a 20-minute man.
Yeah. No, I was happy last year. I played. I wasn't just coming on. I was still there. I was in the frame. I was playing wing back, and I might have been coming off games with 10-15 minutes to go, but I was starting the games. I was playing 55-60 minutes, and I was happy. Yeah. And my hurling wasn't too bad, and
contributing.
The body felt good, and I wasn't out there being found out. I was still felt I was up to that level, and so it's nice to go in them terms as well.
Yeah. Was it the Dublin game? Did you pick up a knock in the Dublin game, or was it after that? Because you missed Kilkenny game.
Yeah, no, I hurt my calf. I was actually down to start the Kilkenny game, but I had a small tear in my calf. Yeah. And put me out of that game. Of course it did.
Had to, didn't
One
it?
of the best results and draw with Kilkenny, led the championship, and
I got Carlow's best ever result, isn't it?
It is 100%. Yeah. But I got to do the hurls anyway. It was amazing. I was on the line. I still got the first yellow card.
Jesus lad, in keeping with consistency, starting, I'll make sure I get yellows to the championship. I'd like to see a stat on it actually. You were I suppose partial to the odd yellow card.
Glad one.
Yeah. But anyway, look at with that, I guess, and I don't want to go down the route of criticising referees during your episode here, but you would have been in a position where you would see a huge disparity in the standard in terms of where Carlow are hurling at in comparison to, say, the level that your cousin Johnny is refereeing at now at the minute. Jeez, there's some difference, and there's one guy in particular that I'm not going to name, but he might have been in charge of a big enough game in Carlow season last year, and he certainly did him no favours. And it's not an easy job to do, I suppose, but Christ, when it goes down long, it does get infuriating, and sure, that's only from a spectator's point of view. You're playing these games.
Yeah, but if you that's the most frustrating thing is you see the difference in the way the games are refereed. If it's a Munster Hurling Championship game, or if it's a Joe McDonagh game, or if it's there's no consistency there at all. A tackle in a Munster final or an All-Ireland final, which could be ferocious, and there'll be heavy hitting knocks, play goes on, and it's free flowing, and that's the way you want the game. In the level that we play it, then it's stop start, everything is blue, there's yellow cards, there's red cards, and there's not an incident, and it's very frustrating because you don't know, you're trying to play the game, it's all about work rate and tackles and things like that, but then you're nearly half afraid with the way some referees ref the game, can I make this tackle, or it's a split second, it's so fast that if someone makes a little dink and you just rule anything to head is red, you just a millimetre out and it's just it's gone. But then you see a Munster Championship, and it's great to sit here and look at Munster Championship, and you just see the way it's just I think it was John Keane ref the match a couple of years ago. I
was going to mention this exact thing after reading my mind.
And
Limerick Clare,
and it was the best game of hurling we ever watched. And he never blew the whistle once. Yeah. And he never blew the whistle once, and
wasn't he reprimanded after that as well?
I was told by a rival source that he was reprimanded after that because he let too much go, and it was everybody, the whole country praised him. It was all over social media. Everyone was delighted with how he reacted, but that's just the way. They're obviously been controlled from the top. And
There's some bad mark in the yoke up there.
Yeah, so you don't know, they're being told what to do, and then obviously some lads then just kind of let the game flow, and that's what every hurler wants, to let the game flow, and there's nothing worse than going to the game and stop start. I presume, I wasn't told more, but I presume that's what it was like, because I think Mouse scored 12 frees, and I think David Nally scored maybe 8 frees for them, that's 20 scores out of the game, so that tells his own story really.
Yeah, it's a horribly frustrating facet of it, and in many respects it can't be a coincidence that I guess some of the greatest games that you were probably involved in were finals, were in Crow Park, and things maybe were let go a little bit more. Like take the Antrim game for example back in 17.
Yeah.
Take the Offaly game a couple of years back.
Yeah.
Like they're refereed completely differently and played out differently to a group game in the same competition. It has to be something to do with it.
Oh, 100%.
No, now look at the same time. I know the Offaly like got delayed that time for probably something along the lines of what we're talking about.
I was worried. Yeah, I actually felt sorry for the chap. What not?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see it, but when I saw it back, I was like, you know,
It's
how
hard
you know it's hard for him, like, you know.
Yeah. Look at there's I'm going to skip to the quick fire round and come back to maybe some other stuff as well. But I've sent you a list. I've got a look at some of the answers. Maybe not all of them. But that day against Offaly, is it your best day in a Carlow jersey?
I'd say definitely yes. Just the whole crazy. It was crazy, you know, to sum it up in the word, it was crazy to go to Croke Park after they sending down the bogey team the week before, thinking that, you know, and then Michael Dignan saying on the radio that no Offaly team should lose to a Carlow team. We had fire, like, and then we, like, I think that kind of showed kind of in the first half when we kind of took over, but then they got to such a good start, and it was just tit for tat. It was back and forth, and then they came out as like hammered hung the second half. It was crazy, like, but just the way the game went, and to nearly lose it at the death, and then to go up and Sledge got the monster score to put us back level, and then he caught the next puck out then and absolutely launched down on top of Chris, and sure Chris got a great score, and sure Chris loves the headlines, you know. I don't know if he realised that, but Chris loves the headlines, so he got that, and then they missed the last one, but like it was without doubt, like, you know, just the you know, the emotion after that game, like, you know, and just it was really special. It was really special, and the homecoming we got in Carlow and afterwards, you know, was fantastic, you know, and it was probably the biggest one, you know. Like, we bet teams, and we bet Westmeath and Antrim in finals, but like to be Offaly in a final at Croke Park, you know, it was very special, you know.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I was actually over in Saluford. I was on holidays at the time, and I met a lad over there that was on County Minor Hurling panel with me years ago, and I didn't see him too much since. Two of us were sitting in the Danny Boys looking at this and like hugging and fucking nearly crying and all that, like, and just the flavour from a supporter's point of view, say, right? Yeah. Like, I'd love for you to have an understanding of how much that really meant to a lot of the Carlow supporters. That's a small flavour of it, but there's people crying everywhere about that, and I'm sure maybe you shed a few tears yourself, but that must have been overwhelming in a positive way, looking around and seeing all this and what it's after, I suppose, bringing out with people, like, and you're responsible for it, like.
Yeah, look, I came off in, I think, this maybe 2 or 3 minutes left in normal time, and I was in this with the subs in the Croke Park, so you're etched in amongst the supporters, like, and for them 20 minutes of extra time, like, just to see and hear everything going on behind you, beside you, around you. And I remember, like, a minute before the final whistle, like, I was crouched down in my seat, like, nearly crying because we thought we lost the game. Yeah. And then 60 seconds later, you're running onto the field celebrating, you know, winning, you know, an All-Ireland in Croke Park, like, you know. Yeah. So, you know, like, it's
sure, that sort of stuff destroy you.
And like, I actually for the first 15-20 seconds, I actually turned around to the crowd and I was just celebrating up to them, because I just to see all their faces and the emotion and the sheer joy, like, you know, it was like, you know, it was really special. It's lovely to see that, and just while we're here, like, the Carlow supporters over the years have been absolutely fantastic, like, you know, and just a credit to them, and really appreciate all the support they give, like myself and the Carlow Hurlers, and like hopefully continue that going forward, because like the hurling community in Carlow is smallish enough. Yeah. So like every time Carlow Senior Hurlers are playing a game, you know, all support is huge, you know. It's a very loyal fan base, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And I know there's serious efforts going into growing that, and like the Leinster Championship then last year, that's where it's so important, and that's again where there's a huge frustration around the fact that, Christ, you go straight back down, it's nigh on impossible to get relegated out of Munster. Yeah. And so for Kerry it's nearly nigh on impossible to get promoted. Yeah. Like, I mean, at the very least, I know it's something we spoke about quite a lot on the pod, aren't you worthy of a crack off a tip anyway? Yeah. And come what may, at least afford the opportunity. Exactly. And see how it goes. But even with that said, I mean, the whole thing, you know, I don't think it's inaccurate to suggest that if Tipperary fell foul there, I wouldn't think there'd be too many letting that happen. Yeah. Whereas like Asher's Carlow. Yeah, exactly. And people say that's a small county, small mind syndrome. It's fucking not. It's just the truth. That's the long and short of it. Yeah, it's long and short of it. Yeah. Like, anyway, but we could go on for ages about that. But it did play a big factor. Correct me if I'm wrong. Back in 19 as well. Yeah. Like,
you slipped back in 2020 after playing just 1 year in Leinster Championship.
Yeah.
I mean, like, where would Carlow have been, do you think, if there was an opportunity to give that a crack a second year? Look, COVID came in, it's hard to know, we'll never know.
We'll never know.
But unless you get a second year, nobody's ever really going to prosper with this. Like, it's just going to keep going, isn't it, like that?
Like,
merry-go-round.
100%. Like, there is a huge difference playing Joe McDonagh than playing Leinster Championship. Huge difference. And you're not going to make that step in, like, you're not talking 12 months, you're talking maybe 7 or 8 months by the time you come out with Joe Mack and go into Leinster Championship. Like, it's next to impossible to make that step that quick. But if you have 18 months, like 24 months to do that, then you're getting more competitive. You're getting closer to the Dublins. You're getting closer to the Wexfors, to the Kennys. We've ran Galway close. We drew them in a league. We went up to Solid Hill and we lost by 5 or 6 points. We've always, hurled well against Wexford. It's always been tit for tat with Dublin. Like, we're not. Carlow aren't a million miles off and not getting a proper chance to kind of stay there and kind of progress and, like, not just get close to these teams, but actually get results against these teams.
Well, look, if you take, say, your career into consideration, there's been victory over Wexford, a 1 point defeat to Clare, which I know is not worth a shite, but like, it's a sign of being competitive, right? There's a draw with Kilkenny, there's a draw with Galway in a league, and Kilkenny Championship, just to say as well. Thereabouts with Dublin and all this. So, I mean, it's proven that when Carlow were afforded these opportunities, there's a huge element of consistency there and proof that they can compete. And again, that must be a positive from when you look back on the county career, that you got to have days like that. And look, you don't have to talk about any one in particular, but if there was, out of all those, like Kilkenny, Jesus, even Mouse hitting the free. I'm looking up at a picture here, and I know we might have to take a few shots of these pictures before we go too. Like, to look at your brother hitting frees like that, I mean, sure, that's. It's unbelievable, and there's a lot of pressure on him. And in fairness to him, like, he's after standing over a lot of pressure frees over the years now, and very, very. I actually can't remember one where he's actually missed it, to let us down. The one against Kilkenny as well. It was actually funny about that day. We drew a Galway. Like, Joe Canning was obviously playing that day for Galway, and my mother's a huge admirer of Joe Canning. But like, we're only after drawing the game against Galway. We were probably at the time one of the best results in my career. And I see my mother coming flying across the field, and I put my arms out and she went flying past me, straight to Joe Canning. And we used to laugh about it to this day, but she loved it. She's a huge admirer of Joe Canning, but she never once did she even break stride, just out by me, straight over to Joe Canning for a picture. That's brilliant, lad.
She's over in Australia now, she probably won't thank me for saying that.
Oh, Christ. She may have to stay there for another few weeks for your safety, you'd be hoping that anyway. But, like, I can't remember what your involvement was or wasn't the day that Galway game, but say the Kilkenny one, like, you're so helpless looking in, and I'd say you're as nervous, maybe more nervous possibly than Mouse.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, you know what's riding on it. You know what you might face if he misses it.
Yeah.
There's probably an underlying confidence that he's going to score it. But just a horrible moment to have to go through as well. Like, for him and for you.
Oh, sure it is. No, but like, the only thing I do when he's on these fields, I let him alone.
Yeah.
He doesn't need anyone telling him.
No.
Like, he's after, like, you don't need, make sure, like obviously he's going to do his best to make sure, like, he doesn't need that added pressure, like, but like, he's faced this like 1,000 times in his career, and like, just leave him alone, let him do it. And if he's like more, I think 9 times out of 10 he scores them. If he doesn't, like, like,
what about it?
People have missed frees, people have missed big things, like, what about it, like, everyone's only human, but look, I was nervous watching him, but I had every confidence that he'd nail it.
And no different to yourself, like, he's not bulletproof either. Nobody is, of course, in terms of like psyche and stuff. He told me straight after that match that he was so nervous hitting it.
Yeah.
And only naturally, considering the magnitude of what he's doing, like, But like, there's guys on the bank there, and I know I touched on this at the very start, that would think the like yourself, like a Mouse, and all these guys are literally bulletproof mentally and physically. But no, sure, everyone has. Like, it's a huge part of the game. I mean, they're high pressure situations, like.
And it might look easy. It might look easy but they're not easy.
No, I think it was recently there, the two Johnnies did up with the Tipperary boys. They're trying to promote this house sale down there, right? And the goalpost gets a lot narrower when there's pressure on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly. That's right. I saw that.
Yeah, and it is true, isn't it?
Yeah, and he told me, Mouse told me, like, that he never hit free bad. He told me like his scuffed it off the hurl.
Yeah.
I was going wide in the last second it came in.
Yeah.
Now I wasn't behind it, I was to the side of it, so I didn't see that, but he said like he thought he missed it and then it came in the last second, thank God.
You'd nearly think in moments that there's like a higher power involved or something, wouldn't you? But like that was a huge moment. That was like sure everyone had said out of all the games last year that was the least likely one to get a result out of, and it was the one that was the result got out. Like it was crazy when you look back on it. But very, very fond memory. Look, the question was like your best day in the Carlow jersey, so I'd imagine if you had even 5 or 10 minutes that day, you might be putting that one down.
Oh yeah. But it was still a great day. Well, it just wasn't a jersey, but it was still a great day. But in the jersey, it was definitely the Zomac again. Offaly, it was heavily that day.
Memorable ones then. So, the Offaly one's got to be in the mix. But we have another couple of contenders here, I believe. Not just the Offaly one. Enlighten us.
2010 county final, the first one.
10-10-10.
10-10-10. Yeah, that was a huge game. It's one of my favourite ones because it was. I was only, what was I in 2010? I was 22, yeah. And I had lost 3. No, I lost 2 before that, in 06 and 07, and St. Mullins hadn't won one in 8 years, and that was a barren spell for St. Mullins. And,
considering, yeah.
and like Rangers were coming good that time, and they had lost the good number themselves, but it was very special, that day. Like myself and Paddy Keogh were very young on the team that time. Patrick Welch, there was a kind of a mixture. Tom Blythe was centre back, so it was a mixture of kind of youth and experience, and John Doran was young, a full back, and Darren Wheel, a wing back. I could go through the team, but it was very special, to bring back the trophy to St. Mullins that night. Like, it was a huge celebration because we hadn't won one in 8 years, and it was kind of that kind of old guard kind of had gone, and the kind of the new young blood was after coming in, and I don't think anyone was expecting St. Mullins to win one as soon because it was kind of a transition going on. But then we were 4 points up, and they got 65, and I asked Pacquiao what was left, and he said this is the last puck. So I don't even think I watched the free. I just knew, and I ran for Seamus Murphy, and Seamus Murphy held me up in there, and there was a picture going on somewhere, and he's holding me up, and my father was coming behind us, and it was just it was chaos really, and it was a really memorable one.
Jesus, it was I'm looking at a picture. Pat Cody has mouse up on his shoulders there. 2 of the best free takers ever came through the club probably, and it was a special day for him. He's told us previously on the pod and how relaxed he was, but for you it was completely different at that stage. You're only a chap.
Yeah.
He's playing his last one or whatever, and you're trying to win your first one.
Yeah, exactly. And my dad tie up there probably with 2016 as well, where I was captain for the 3 in a row. That was a huge honour for me. And I'm very grateful that PJ Laney trusted me to be captain of that team, and with PJ's first year, so
Peter's only 31 at the time, was he?
Yeah.
That's very young, for
very young, but he's serious man, a serious trainer.
Even to interview him, he was so intense.
It's very tense, but absolutely brilliant. I really loved. It kind of actually reminded me of myself a little bit. He was very serious, and when it came to the hurling field, it was you're here to work hard. No time for messing. Maybe like that when I go train as well. I'm here to train hard. I message you before training, after training, but while we're training hard. So I really love working under PJ, and so he made me captain for the year, and I was delighted to be able to go up the steps. It was always something I wanted to do, was captain St. Mullins, and to captain to a winning team, and for it to be 3 in a row was hugely special.
You were very emotional after that one. I remember Joe Nolan interviewing you for KCLR. Right. The videos on YouTube still actually. What's hanging off your eyelash? Is it your eyelash or is it Vaseline?
Vaseline.
But that
with a tub bit on there.
And he's hardly wearing fake eyelashes today. No, they will.
they were fine that night going home. Back to the tub with the cup, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was special, and I remember talking to you. I think the start of that year,
That's
and
right.
There was a huge. I don't know, some would say it might be disrespect. It's not something you got drawn into. You were actually very good when you were being interviewed. You never gave a whole lot to give anyone else a bit of fire. You must have been trained or something, right? But at the start of it, I had said to you basically along the lines of, you've won it the last 2 years, and you weren't favourites the second year you won a kind of a thing. You think you'd be given a bit of credit, and sure, look, you were being honest as well. You weren't just I don't really care or whatever. But, hell bent on winning this bloody fucking thing in the back of it, and as captain, you could have been captain any year. It's just your persona. It's the way you are. you lead, don't you? Like,
Well, look, I suppose everyone's different. Like, you know, everyone's different in the dressing room. Like, you know, we have lads in the dressing room who go out and they absolutely hurl. So they'll hurl anyone up a stick, but they're not comfortable talking. You know, like, and whereas I suppose like there's a couple of us in every dressing room, every club would have them who are natural speakers, and I suppose like I'd be one of them. You know, I'd have to say a few words before every game. You know, and it's not something I rehearse. It's not something I just kind of. It's just kind of in my character. It just comes out. You know. And, you know, and like. I suppose when I speak, you know, kind of, you know, like people tend to listen, and like, you know, there's a deafening silence, you know, and it's just passion, and it's hunger, it's just the will to win, and you know, like just what the jersey means, whether it's the same Mullen jersey or Carrow jersey, and like the people that have come before us, and like I suppose I wouldn't say a leader, but you know, I'm kind of one of these lads who maybe like a.
Well, you are a leader.
I try to drive. I try to drive the thing, you know. I try to drive the thing through, like on the field, and kind of maybe through my words in the dressing room, or you know, like a half time or whatever, like, you know, or if it was a club meeting for county final or something, like, you know, if there's anything to be said, like, you know, I suppose I kind of am one of these lads who, like you said, I don't need to be made a captain to be a leader, but you know, like, and there's so many lads in the club that are similar, but then there's other lads who are just not comfortable speaking and they don't like speaking, and that's fine. They go out and they score 10 points for you, you know, but they don't say anything.
Pardon me ignorance now, right? But I'm trying to think of a time. Were you given the honour of captain Carlow?
No, it's one I got away from me. Yeah, I was.
So St. Mullins won 14, 15 and 16, and the rule at the time was that someone from the club. Still is the rule, isn't it?
Yeah, still is.
Most captain this year is
Mountain James, yeah.
Which is that's massive for him, by the way.
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah.
But who was captain then in say 15, 16, 17? And not that I'm not trying to create a civil war that you begrudge any of your teammates. I can't remember what St. Mullins person was actually at that time. But look, we won't dwell too much.
Anyway.
You know, I'm going to bring it back. Like, would you be a bit hurt over that? Considering?
Look, it's something.
Or could you think of a reason why you mightn't have been like?
I don't know. Maybe like whatever manager at the time didn't see me as.
That's.
You know, because I was heavily involved in all them teams. At that time I was playing midfield or.
It would seem like a natural fit from the outside.
Yeah, but look, I don't know. I never got the accolade, and it is something that it's not something that I'm hurt over, but it's something that I would have loved to say I did. Was captain Carlow.
Yeah, would have been a big honour.
Would have been a big honour for me, but look, I never got to do it. And look, this is Mouse's second time to do it now, and you know, like absolutely delighted for him. And you know, he's a great leader, and he's one of these lads who is a very good speaker in the dressing room too. And then on the field, obviously, he's hurling, was talking to. But look, I would have loved to done it, but look, that's days come and gone now, and I don't hold any grudges to anyone.
That did get to do it. It's not about who did get to do it. It's fact.
Paul Lyle was captain for 1 year anyway.
Yeah.
I think Paddy Keogh in 2010. Paddy Keogh was captain after we won 2010. He was captain for the county in 2011. I remember that. I think it was Kevin Ryan came to Paddy and asked him to be captain. Yeah. But there was a year or two I went in out thinking that this could be the year, and this never came. But look, I didn't kick up a fuss and walk out the panel or anything. I just, you know, got on with it and hurl.
Yeah. Well, look, that's the mark as well. You'd have to compliment you on that one too, you know. And honest enough to say, look, it is something that I would have liked.
Oh, I would have loved to.
You know, like, and so wouldn't anyone, I suppose.
Yeah, of course. It just didn't happen for me.
Yeah, I just do. I don't mind saying it on record. Whatever, it would seem like a natural fit, and it is a surprise that never happened. And that's why I was fairly certain you didn't get to.
Yeah, no.
That's why I said, look, we're here now. When's the last one?
Yeah, no, I didn't know.
So, yeah. Well, look, we'll move on further afield, I suppose, and just maybe a quick one. As you said, the honour of being captain for Mouse. But I'm thinking of Mouse. I'm thinking of yourself, and I'm thinking of James Doyle and a whole host of lads in St. Mullins. What is it with guys naturally striking across their body and it being their stronger side? So you're right hand on top, but you favour your left side. Mouse is the same. Doyle is the same. And then if you want to go the other way about it, Mick Welsh say left hand on top, favours the right. Farmer, same, yeah. Sean Gann. I could go through a whole host of these, like. It would go against anything Brendan Hayden would tell you, like growing up along, like striking across the body, or look, it's not quite as complex as say a Walter Walsh, say, for example, or anything like that. But is that a case of practicing so much off your so-called weaker side that it becomes your stronger side, or is there a theory to it as well?
I don't know the answer to that, Kevin, but it could be like, you know, like all the time underage we were always, you know, you could go to the field and you could be just out of a session and be off your weak side, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe filter through to like what you said there, but like I don't know what it is, you know, whether it's just natural for that to do it or whether it's trained into him.
Paul Lyle's another one.
But there seems to be a lot of lads in the same ones that do that.
Yeah, Paddy Boland.
Well, it seems to work, sure.
But sure, you're not for doing too bad over it.
We won't change it now.
Yeah, you've played in, I don't think I'm including replays in this stat, maybe I am, or I can't remember, but is it 13 county finals and 1-7?
I think it was 14. I think I'm at to breaking even now. 1-7 last 7.
Right.
I think, yeah.
Jeepers.
I think 1-7 last 7, yeah.
Yeah, and more often than not, it tend to be Rangers you were coming up against a lot of them, wasn't it? Two overall. I'm conscious not to go too much into the club stuff because I know we're here to talk about inter-county retirement and you're far from finished with St. Mullins. Like, like you've kept yourself so well, you're in a position that, like, what are you now, Jack? You heading for 37?
I'm 37 in August, yeah.
37 in August, but like you've kept yourself so well down through the years that like, have you any quibs or qualms physically?
No, look, I have a few niggly aches and pains here and there, but nothing that I can't overcome, you know, nothing's going to keep me off the field. And I've been lucky enough through my career that I've never had a really bad injury. Like I broke my hand once playing Blow and Kerry, but that was a 6-8 week job, you know, like that's the only time I broke a bone.
And niggly stuff.
Stuff to keep you up 2 or 3 weeks, you know. So I've been very, very lucky, like I haven't, and I've been able-bodied to play every year, and I'm going to hurl away with someone for as long as my body lets me, and you know, hopefully at senior level for as long as I can. If it's back to intermediate level, like I love hurling. I love hurling for St. Mullins. Everything started there and it's where it'll finish. So like I'm going to continue hurling for the club for as long as I can and try and bring back a couple more trophies in my time in the jersey.
Are you back doing a bit?
No, we met last week on a Friday night just to get everyone together, but we're not back doing a bit yet, no.
Big Tommy back?
Big Tommy back, yeah.
Some York, isn't he?
Some York, yeah, got carried.
Like you've worked with him an awful lot, like.
In
county minor setups and.
It's been a long time. There was 18 years of difference between the 06 minor team and when he hasn't changed a bit.
Yeah.
I think he looks younger now.
He's a great old character, right? Did he do a night or two witches down here after winning it? I'm sure he did.
Oh God, he did, yeah. We had a dinner and a stand down in Riverside in Escort there just I think it was the 29th of December. So it was in amongst the Christmas shenanigans, and we had a right old night down there as well. Tommy and the wife were down, and Kieran Brennan, our hurling coach, was down, and we had a right out night, you know, a great celebration. We had a great year with the club, you know, the senior, intermediate, and the under 20s won, and the you know, so the senior ladies gone to the semi-final. You know, they're coming strong too, like. So I know the club is doing well on all fronts, so long may it continue.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what? There's huge parallels people suggest between St. Mullins and Rathvilly in that, like, there's not always an abundance of 8 titles won underage, say for example, but the gem is always produced. And you keep lads playing. And that's like, you know, you mentioned that said intermediate and the senior and even 20s winning there and stuff, like. I don't know how you do that. Like, is there any sort of secret sauce to it, or? No,
like, and the year before that they had 3 teams, had a junior team going, but that this last year they go to 2 teams. There's no secret sauce. It's just people, like, are in St. Mullins, like, you literally grew up. The heart of the community is the hurling field. Like, we don't have a shop. We have no town to go to. Like, I drove to Rathvilly actually maybe 2 weeks ago, and like I was like, just to have a few pubs here and have a shop, and you know, like we don't have. We have a couple of towns out, but there's like we have 2 pubs. Well, we could claim Driscoll's and Tinnahinch. He was always a good supporter of St. Mullins down through the years. You know, we've only the 2 pubs. You know, we've no shop. We want loaf of bread. We have to go into Greg the Manor, or you know, with the Burris. You know, so like we've actually nowhere to go and meet. You know, so like the only time we see each other is when we go to Hurlfield. And more often than not, like it is a lot. Like, you know, anytime we go up there, like, you know, it's buzzing with kids, and you know, and a lot of work goes in voluntary, like, you know, throughout the club, and you know, it's great to see, like, and it's because of them, like, that we were able to get 2 or 3 lads through every year off unsuccessful underage teams, because we don't have huge success underage, but we still are able to compete and win senior titles. Like, we haven't gone more than 2 or 3 years in the last since 2010, you know, so 25 years, and we have to bring in I think 7 or 8 titles home, you know. So like, you know, we're doing okay down here for a small little place. Like, we're very rural down here, but like, you know, we'll stay going to where we're going, which it seems to be doing as well.
Not too shabby when the size 5 comes out either.
No.
Like that was a fair run, like.
There's one up there behind us there. We got the sports award there for winning 3 in a row. Yeah, Junior C, Junior B, Junior A. I don't know how we won the Junior B. We came back from a stag to win that one. We got off the bus in Carlow to coming straight from Cork. 10 of us in the starting team, and we shook heads playing that game.
And still won.
Yeah. But look, I suppose we said we played a bit of football in the split season. Came in and it was probably unfair to the Junior C's and Junior B teams. Our senior hurling team were coming in to play football. Like these are lads that are just kind of playing. They're kind of at the back end of their careers, or just doing something a bit crack, and then you come up again a powerhouse like James Doyle. It's not simple, but look, we started down there, so we won the Junior C, B and A, and sure, obviously you found intermediate a little bit tough. So we're back down in Junior A again next year.
Yeah, but intermediate started a few weeks, or was it just a week after the county final?
Yeah, we had lads.
We're never going to be set up for it.
We had lads gone on holidays, and we got a few lads back then. And I actually missed the first 2 games. I was away in Bali, and look, yeah, so we kind of got everyone back together then for the relegation final again in a row again. So
give them plenty to think
it was only a kick of a ball at the end of it. We're hoping we might snake it, but no, we just got away from us then. But yeah, look, we just played for the bit of fitness. We never give a walkover. We think it's not our number 1 game. I wouldn't have a massive grow for football, but it is something we play it for a bit of enjoyable, and it's another time we get to hang out with some of our best friends.
Yeah. There's Lochner Bridge thinking they're getting closer now to a Junior A title, and you boys come back down Junior A.
I know, yeah.
There's a part of me now, and I'll put out on record, hoping that I went back 2 weeks and said one's way pack in the football. Well, I believe that just on that, the status quo remains, like it is hurling first again this year,
that's
and
right,
football afterwards, like so.
That's right.
Lovely from a Lochner point of view. But like, are you happy enough with that system? Bar when it comes to Leinster, I'd say you're not too happy about it.
No, yeah, I know, yeah. I think this year we were kind of all hoping for a change.
Yeah.
But then we got the word there. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Michael Keogh, our club secretary, put into the group that it was the same format again. So look, it is what it is. It's not ideal with Leinster. It doesn't help. It doesn't help the Carlow teams going to Leinster. Having that much of a break. Because you saw even last year with Cormac, we ran to 5 points, and it was a very close game. And I suppose when I think there was a point in it, and the ref blew Mouse for overcarrying, and I don't think he did overcarry. I think the man was fouling, but and then they got a point. Their goalie came out and pulled over the bar, and that kind of swung it a little bit, But they're not massive. It wouldn't take a lot. I think if we were hurling competitive championship 2 weeks before them games, I think.
Yeah, it'd be different.
I think Carlow team, whether it be St. Mullins or Rangers or whoever else might come over the county. I think because that Leinster Championship they're there to be won now. They're
absolutely they are. Look, something. There's an awful lot that I haven't touched on, but I'm conscious of taking up too much of your time and all that. and for this show to go on later, the Titanic as well. Although we probably won 3 Titanics to cover your whole career, right? But I should mention the 2019 Leinster run. That must have been magical, but also very difficult with Micheál getting sick in the middle. The Cooley game in particular must have been just a clusterfuck in your mind.
Yeah, absolutely. There was a crazy year 19. To come out with I missed the county final that year through my own fault for suspension, and for Mouse to have the hour he done, maybe he scored 212 that day, and said everyone in the club said it was his finest hour. And my brother Chris started being back that day, and he was absolutely phenomenal that day. And just while we were here, there was a moment after that game where I sprinted across the field straight to find whistle, and Mouse and Chris came straight to me and they said we did a few
that's
what that's what that's what we were, I said to you before, we were brothers but we're best friends they were words we did a few and it meant absolutely huge for me because Mouse was captain. I felt awfully guilty I was missing the game and that was a really nice moment that we shared on the field that day. Then to go on to Cool, crazy game again. And
they're after winning 2 All-Irelands now at this stage, aren't they?
They're after winning 2 All-Irelands this stage, and they gave us a good trimming in 2016 in Carlow. And then, then I think it was a Mouse got a ball and popped off to James Island in the middle of the second half, and James buried it, and Micheál celebrated too hard. And Luckily, he
was actually after that, was it?
It was right after that, we didn't know what was going on, and it was crazy. It was crazy. We didn't actually know, and we were just we didn't know what was going on. We knew there was something after happened. We didn't know, and luckily we didn't know because it might have affected us more.
Yeah.
So we just said hurling, and then when the final whistle went, me and Mouse are celebrating, and someone said stop, it's me hauling. So we kind of got together, and got together in the field, we went into the dressing room, and it was a very sad place to be, you know, because there was whispers going around that it wasn't good, and Micheál being an absolute like stalwart to St. Mullins over the years, and so we left the dressing room together. We went down to the Blessed Well in St. Mullins, where we go after we win the county final, even though it wasn't a county final, but we go and we bless the cup.
Yeah.
And we went down, and the Father Rockney came down, and there was a few prayers said for Micheál, and we went up to the pub, and the word came through that he was back and he was talking, and you know, it was
scary stuff.
We celebrated, we celebrated, and you know, and it was very scary. It was very scary, you know, and you know, it was thankfully he pulled through, because Micheál's son Rishi was on the field to play,
and he got taken back off.
He got taken back off, and so somebody obviously got word to him or whatever, but no, it was crazy, and you know, that kind of in a way drove us on for the next game again. We're at Downey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was another crazy game. Like that was live on TG.
That's right, yeah.
They say it was like one of the games of the year. You know,
it was unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable game, and like to win it the way we won it, to come with the man James Lyle to come up with them 2 points, like the last point, like you know, you wouldn't see it anywhere.
No,
it was absolutely like ridiculous to flick the ball over that head in the dying moments of the game and forward over the bar. Like it was just, you know, and that led to more chaos and St. Mullins that night, and then that led to Port East to play the Shamrocks, the greatest club team of all time in my opinion, you know, with scattered Galacticos scattered with talent, and like we gave as good as we got there for a good 40 minutes, you know, like, you know, it was to and fro, like, you know, we were well up for that game. We really got stuck into them, and I think there was maybe 2 or 3 points in at half time, and
Doyle hit the post.
Doyle hit the post right at the start of the second half.
Yeah.
And they went down and then got a goal at the other end.
Correct.
And that was a 6 point
That's
swing.
fun with, like, yeah.
That's fun with, like, and it's not, they're the little things you need when you're playing these big games. Like, you know, they're the little bit slice of luck that say the underdog needs. And look, it didn't go for us that day, and I think Shamrocks ran up by maybe 8 or 9 point winners that day, but they knew they were in the game for long enough, and it was a special journey, and you know, like, it's one that we look back with great fondness, like, you know, and it's often spoken about, like, you know, when we're out for a few points.
But like, as you say, and as you've kind of touched on, I suppose, it's so realistic now for a Carlow club to be able to get there, whether it's yourselves, Rangers, or any Carlow club to get into that position.
Yeah.
Like, you obviously have had the experience of getting to Leinster Final. The Rangers have won one and got to an All-Ireland, and obviously won intermediate in that too, like, but like, you have set that bar and everyone else knows it's now achievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, and that's an incredible mark of where we are now at.
Yeah.
That was unheard of at one particular time, like.
No, it's great. Like, you see the least teams, like the Camross were at Downey Hurlers, and Clockbody Calla, to see Carlow Gagan there beat Thomastown last year, like, you know, like the Westmeath and Laois and Carlow, like, you know, like the club teams get great kind of motivation from each other, like, you know, when they're turning big teams, you know, like, it's all on the day, like, and sometimes a county finalist out of the so-called bigger counties and come down to your home ground, or and they think that, oh, we'll win this one, but like, they don't know what's waiting for them, like, when they come through the trap, like, and you know, and like, we're, you know, you want to do the Jersey proud, but also the county proud, you know, you're representing the county, and like, you know, anytime we come out of Carlow, like, we want to go as far as we can. Sometimes, you know, we didn't get a journey this year, but look, we'll go back at the club next year, and we hope to, you know, we go at hammer and tongs. If we're good enough to win a county final, we'll go on to Leinster again, and we'll give it another right good crack, you know, we're not giving up on that dream, yeah.
2 goals in the 06 final, 2 goals in the drawn 24 final, and still more to come, but it's mad, isn't it? Like, one end of the career to the other, and I'm not finishing you now, don't worry. But you know, is that something you thought about after that? Like, jeez, that's mad, isn't it?
It was actually
same team as well, like.
Yeah, my brother Chris actually said it to me. He said to me, he got 2 goals in the 06 final, and he got 2 goals in the 06 final, lost, and I was hoping he got 2 goals, and that was the first game, the drawn game, the 11th of August. He was saying, I was hoping he wouldn't score 2 goals in the final and beat him again. Yeah. And you know, like, I was as surprised as anyone on the ground that day. I was the one to pop up with 2 goals, and like, you know, we left ourselves a huge amount to climb in the first half. You know, Rangers were absolutely on fire, like, you know. And we were luckily 4 points down with 60 seconds to go, like, and like, Mouse gets a free, and then Jason Neal wins, or Paddy Keogh turns a great ball in full back line, Jason Neal gets a great pass to Mouse, and look, we went in knock Kevin McDonald's helmet, and we need that bit of luck, and then the second day we were just a different animal coming out there, you know. We kind of knew coming out after the first game that we didn't do ourselves justice, and we went back very hungry to go up and show what team we were. And look, it's just, I think Rangers had an off day, and I think there was too much damage done, and they came back strong in the second half, but it was just always too much to do.
There's a good few extra picnic tickets for sale.
there was. It didn't bother me now. There was a few less holidays ruined too, I think.
I
was lucky I left it for the following week, so I went off on holidays after 2 weeks after that,
Yeah, that was like, look, I know that's the way things kind of fall, but it is frustrating too, and it can't be accommodated. But look, you've come to championship now, so I suppose that's the whole lot of it.
Yeah.
Jack, like I'm going to finish up now shortly, right? But I am conscious that I probably should have given a little bit more detail to a lot of the stuff from your time involved with Carlow. But to give the roll of honour very quickly, right? So, would I be right in saying, is it 4 Christy Rings? 3 Christy Rings.
3 Christy Rings.
2 Joe Max.
3 Christy Rings, 2 Joe Max, yeah.
So we're talking 08, 09 and 17 for the Christy Rings, and 18, 23 for Joe Max.
Yes, that's right.
And the amount of Division 2A titles, there's a few of them.
Yeah, there is. There's a few 1B leagues as well. And Westmeath in 2012 in Nolan Park, and league, that was one of the first. That was actually that was the first show for me and Mouse. We won together with Carlow, because he came on as a sub that day, and I was starting. So that was back in 2012, you know. So.
You have a fair bit to show for it.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
You know what I mean, in terms of silverware.
There's a lot there, you know, very lucky.
A few bits and pieces inside in the kitchen there, in terms of silverware and different things in the works.
Don't show the names on them.
We won't zoom in that close. But yeah, there is, you have, you know, and that I shouldn't gloss over the fact that you've got to share something, like a lot of those with the Mouse, Sure, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. No, like it is fantastic. No, like it's to win with your family, and like won a lot with Chris and Mouse, and I didn't mention. I was talking to Kieran Murphy last week, and I actually didn't mention it, but like we've so much support here from like my sisters as well. Like, you know, like Mairead and Christina and my niece and nephews. Like, they come to every game. They were in Tullamore last week. They go to Corrigan Park in Belfast. They go everywhere, and even Australia. She's over there the last 10, 11 years. She's constantly on the phone, who's wishing, is looking at. And my mother, like, you know, they've been the backbone of our support, you know. So I just want to give them a mention here when I can. But to win with them and to win for them is unreal, like, you know. So it is special, like, you know, when you turn around in a dressing room or in the middle of a field or up in the stand, and you're getting the trophy, and, like, you know, you have Chris or Mouse flanking either side, you know. It is really special, you know.
It's class, lad. It's unbelievable, sir. That's what the whole thing is about, back, you know, family stuff. Is there anything you feel that you'd like to maybe chat about before I go into some of these quick fires and funny stories to finish us up?
No, we'll keep going with your...
We'll keep rolling, so. Yeah. Well, we've touched on a few of them. We've talked about the memorable game. We've talked about the best day in a Carlow jersey. I suppose we'll flip it on to a negative. I actually have a contender I want to ask you very quickly on this, but we'll go to it. What I have it here in front of me, but you tell us, what was your worst day in a Carlow jersey?
The relegation final against Antrim last year.
Plain and simple.
Oh, yeah, plain and simple, yeah. I kind of knew what was coming afterwards, and the fact we were just relegated so McDonagh, even though I kind of had an idea I wouldn't be involved, but it was just my last day in the jersey as well, so that was a horrible, horrible day.
What I was going to say, I suppose it's not maybe the worst day in a Carlow jersey, but one of, perhaps I suppose, you're the one who's going to tell me, but one of the most regretful days, like, under 21 against Kildare, like, he had a savage minor team that got to the Leinster Final in 06, and you lost to Kildare 3 years later. Do you know, were you playing that day?
I couldn't tell you, Kevin.
Really?
I probably was. Where was it?
Such a prominent thing.
Was that in Kildare?
I think so.
I think I was playing that day, because I remember losing to Kildare up there.
And they must have had the number, because a few weeks later we played them in a minor B final, and the bet Smart Fitzgerald was playing both days. He played against G in the 21s and against us. But I think back on that, and it was something I meant to ask you about. That team was so good, like.
Yeah, but a few lads, like, I don't know who, but like definitely a few lads wouldn't have been on the 20 team that was on the minor team or 21 team.
Yeah.
No, like.
Well, Ahern, for example, was gone.
And Ahern was huge for that minor team, like, you know, he got a couple of goals up in Portlaoise again. Was it Wexford or Offaly? We won them anyway in the semi-final.
Offaly, yeah.
You know, and like, I'm not sure now, but I don't know if John Ladney or Peter Barron, these lads, like, they were.
Yeah. Well, look, I suppose you have a few lads that were only 14 or 15 for, we'll say, that Leinster Minor Final that had come in then and said League of English and all that.
Yeah.
All that was there. But I look back at that and I think, that was such an opportunity lost. Like, and Carlow had serious 21s teams that Mouse was on. Just before that as well, there was a few good ones. And that team never actually, as a collective, was there. You done great things as seniors. Yeah. Just thought it was an interesting one. Obviously, it's not bothering you too much. No. We'll move on. Look, I've asked you already, could we see you back in the Carlow jersey? I won't go there again. We've touched on it a lot at the start.
Never say never.
Never say never. Never say never, right? Right, we have a few absolute crackers in here now, I have to say. Really, really good ones. And we better get them in quick because I think we're on to 7% battery.
Okay.
So, I won't say this is a cracker, but your car got robbed down in your well.
Yeah, it was Jim Green was only after coming over. I think it would have been 08. It was 08 and training weekend below in UL, and this was my first car I was after buying a 93 Honda Civic, a red one I bought off one of my best friends up the road here, Thomas Lyons Teabag as we call him, and I couldn't get off Fork area to go down with the team, so I had to drive down myself, and me driving to Limerick this time was huge, like. So I drove down anyway, parked up in the campus in UL in the Civic and went in and we were sharing with whoever, and so a few of us anyway, we said a lot of us actually, most of the panel, there was no such thing as drinking, which we all kind of stuck into town anyway. But the next morning they came out to get headed for the car anyway, went over, and I kind of noticed there was something wasn't right here in the car, no sign in the car, and I checked the different car park, no sign in that, and then sure there was security on the campus, so the security guard showed me, and it showed me a car. So at some stage in the morning, anyway, a couple of lads came in and got into it and gone. So I had to get a phone on the boys anyway, but it wasn't an ideal. But that was funny. A year later, maybe I got a message on my phone to say that the car was due for his NCT, or was booked in for his NCT below in Little Island below in Cork. So with 93 CE, the one I bought was 93 CW, but to change the CW to a CE 221. I bought the car for, I think it was €300, and I think I got a bit more off the insurance company, so I deleted the message anyway. But I had to get a lift to training for a couple of weeks after that.
You got a good deal out of it. Interesting garment found in the dressing room before a championship game. Yeah. Divulge.
I won't name any names, but
no, a cross-dresser in the county panel.
No. It was actually a club game.
Oh Jesus!
It was a club match, and we were in Dr. Cullen one day, and we were getting ready to go all rave at one time and talking out. The next thing there was a lady's underwear, we'd say, found just in the middle of the restroom, and everyone was kind of like, what is, and they wanted the lads made a scramble for it anyway. And back into the gear bag. Somehow or another got mixed up in the gear from the washing or whatever.
Oh Jesus!
Well, look, he was reminded of it for a good few weeks after that, and it was a
Bridget Jones' job, was it?
Yeah, it was not. It was something I haven't seen since now, and I don't think it will be seen again.
Jack, it's been a pleasure. I know there's a lot more we could have divulged and got into. We've had a good discussion over the hour or so. No doubt there'll be more stories with St. Mullins in years to come. Rangers lads probably won't want that, maybe some other clubs, but you'll certainly want a few more of them to tell. But look, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks a million for having me down here. It's unbelievable. It's like a Hall of Fame down here with all the stuff just looking around between trophies and pictures and memories. But like above all, I want to say, from a supporter's point of view, your career coincided with a lot of the games that I started going to and become a big Carlow fan. I think I speak for all Carlow fans when I say, like, you've given us some incredible memories, and I just don't have the words. It's been some career. You should be very proud of yourself. I think the people of Carlow are very proud of you, and thanks a million for having us down here.
No problem. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Over and out.
Thank you.